How's it going, everyone? I'm the Yu-Gi-Oh! Scrub, but please just call me Bailey, and I was recording this live, was gonna upload it as a live replay, and then my friend decided to call. I had to answer, though, because it was kind of important, so couldn't do this as a live unless he wanted to hear me talk with my friend for a few minutes, but I'll show you off the match in a replay form. So I win the rock, paper, scissors. I will be going first. He picked paper, the inferior rock, paper, scissors option, and now it is opening hand. I'm playing Zombie Goat, so I have Book of Life, Metamorphosis, Book of Moon, Sangan, Delinquent Duo, and for turn I draw Scapegoat. He has Kaiku, Guakigiri Panda, Call of the Haunted, Gaia Power, and Nobleman for his opening hand. I'll give you a quick second. What do you think I'm going to do? How will I start this duel? It's very, very difficult, I know. Yeah, it's going to be with an opening of Delinquent Duo. Hey, Call the Haunted, he discards Gaia Power. He has now Nobleman, Guakigiri Panda, and Kaiku in hand. I set Sangan and my Scapegoat. He will Nobleman my Sangan, unfortunate, and summon Blindly Loyal Goblin. Not a card you see every day in Goat format, but this card cannot switch control as long as it's face up on the field. So that means it's kind of a good anti-Thousand Eyes Restrict card, but I will not eat 1800 damage. I will use a Scapegoat token to stop that, and draw a second Metamorphosis for turn. I will go ahead and meta for 1000 Eyes Restrict, try to take it. Of course, remember right away that I cannot do that, so I then book a Moon, just so I can put it face down, and then I will take it. So I have some defense with 1000 Eyes Restrict and 2 Goat tokens. Though he draws Tribe Infecting Virus, will discard Kaiku from the Tribe to get rid of my Spellcaster, 1000 Eyes Restrict, and hit over 1 Goat token. End phase, I draw Graceful Charity. I will meta and take the Tribe Infecting Virus with a second 1000 Eyes Restrict. Then I will Graceful Charity, drawing Spirit Reaper, Mystical Space Typhoon, and Blackluster Soldier Envoy at the beginning. I will discard Spirit Reaper and Mystical Space Typhoon, keeping the Book of Life that now is live for the Spirit Reaper and BLS in hand, because you obviously want to keep BLS, and hit in for 16 with the 1000 Eyes Restrict. He draws Berserk Gorilla and Guakigiri Panda, sets the Panda. I draw Nobleman, shuffle my hand so he doesn't know I just drew it, and get rid of that Panda, hit it for another 16. He will then go draw Graceful Charity, use Graceful Charity, draw Giant Rat, Exiled, and Premature, discarding the Giant Rat and Berserk Gorilla, using the Exiled Force and getting rid of my 1000 Eyes Restrict, and setting Premature Burial. I draw Scapegoat, cannot do anything, so I have to set Scapegoat and end my turn. He draws Nobleman, cannot do anything, he will pass. I draw Vampire Lord, I will Book of Life, the Spirit Reaper, now that he has a card in hand, and banish Kaiku, because it was the only dark in his grave. Attack and hit in for 300 and discard the Nobleman from his hand, so there's a good plus for me. He draws Gaia Power, Premature Burials, gets Tribe Infecting Virus, uses Tribe, getting over the Spirit Reaper, hitting for 1600. I draw for turn, draw a second Scapegoat. Didn't want a Scapegoat there, obviously because I'm playing a Tribe. I stop 1600 damage with one of my Goat tokens, and also kind of force him here to make the choice of does he want to get rid of all the tokens by discarding a card, or does he want to keep the card in hand. As predicted, he will discard the Kaiku he drew for turn to get rid of all my Goat tokens. I feel fine because I have another Scapegoat, and finally I see one of my floaters, I see Pyramid Turtle. Run into him for 400 damage to myself, but then I will summon out Vampire Lord and hit him for 400 damage, and call spell. He sends Terraforming, I set my Scapegoat, and he draws Snatch Steal. So he Snatch steals that. Obviously, I'm not going to eat 2,000, I will summon Goat tokens. For turn, I draw Nobleman to cross out, can't do anything here, but I gain 1,000. He draws Dust Tornado, hits over 1 token, sets the Dust Tornado, I draw Jinzo, still can't do anything, I gain another 1,000. He draws Pot of Greed, draws United We Stand, and Delinquent Duo, uses Duo, hitting the 3 Blackluster Soldier, and I discard Vampire Lord. Keeping the Jinzo in hand because it's obviously more powerful than Vampire Lord, and this is now live for a Book of Life draw. I draw Magician of Faith, so I set the Faith. He draws another Dust Tornado, runs into the Faith, allowing me to get myself a Metamorphosis. I draw Breaker the Magic Warrior, and that's an awesome draw because I summoned that. Could have done other things, like use the meta, try to steal my own Vampire Lord back, but I just try to. He also reminds me I gain 1,000 here. I get rid of Snatch Steal because that would give me game on board, and he just quits because he has a Dust Tornado face down. I didn't know that at the time, but obviously he knew that, and just admits defeat, doesn't show me the card. So game 2, we're going to opening hand. He is going first. I have MST, Ring of Destruction, Premature Burial, Sinister Serpent, and Jinzo. He has Enemy Controller, Enraged Battle Ox, not Enchanted, Berserk Gorilla, Premature Burial, Giant Rat, and Graceful Charity. Pretty good opening hand for him. Graceful Charity, drawing Berserk Gorilla, Duo, and Giant Rat, discarding a Giant Rat, because he has 2, and 1 Berserk Gorilla, because he also had 2. Using Duo, so pretty good opening hand. He will, after I shuffle, hit the MST out of my hand, and obviously getting rid of the Serpent. He summons Giant Rat and passes. I draw Tsukiyomi, get back the Sinister Serpent, and just set the Serpent, set Ring of Destruction. He draws Enemy Controller, summons Berserk Gorilla, switches that to defense mode. He is afraid of the Mirror Force, obviously. I just let the Berserk Gorilla run into my Sinister Serpent, draw a Scapegoat for turn, get back the Sinister Serpent, summon the Tsukiyomi to get over the Berserk Gorilla if he allows it, which he will. And I set myself a Scapegoat in the end phase. I have 2 chainable things right now, so I'm not afraid of Heavy Storm. He switches the Giant Rat to attack, and I'm just going to take my 1-for-1 with no effect from the Giant Rat by eating a Ring of Destruction, 1400 damage to both of us. He summons Blindly Loyal Goblin. I draw Duo for turn, just fire that off, hit Enemy Controller, and he discards Enraged Battle Ox. I set my Serpent, and end turn. He draws Scapegoat. He runs with Blindly Loyal Goblin into the Serpent, setting Scapegoat. Draw Book of Life, get back the Serpent, and set the Serpent once again. He draws Exile Force, Premature Burials for Enraged Battle Ox, so he can get some piercing damage. Hits for 1450 and 1800, though I will use Goats to stop that damage. So 1 Goat token. I have 3 beautiful blue Goat tokens left, and an awesome draw. I get Heavy Storm. So I just go ahead and fire off Heavy here. I could have also, if I didn't draw Heavy, just Tsukiyomi'd over the Enraged Battle Ox, assuming he allowed it to go through. Probably wouldn't have, because he had that Enemy Controller face down. And I am able to get a +3 from the Heavy Storm, because I get rid of 3 back row and the Enraged Battle Ox that was tied to the Premature Burial. Set myself a the Sinister Serpent. Maybe you're going to figure out what I draw in a turn or two, because again, this is a replay. There we go, the Magician of Faith. So, get back the Serpent. I was actually considering, depending on my draw here, not getting the Serpent back, because I could Premature Burial the Serpent and then Tribute for Jinzo, but this actually is a pretty good play, because now I can just set the Magician of Faith, which will then, assuming he doesn't draw another monster, runs into both things. Assuming it was the Sinister Serpent, which is why he didn't go for the Exiled Force. I get back a Heavy Storm, so now I have really good insurance against back row. And I just Premature Burial the new monster that's in my grave, the magical Magician of Faith that will not leave, and Tribute for Jinzo. Can get over that. Though, unfortunately, I did not know he had the Exiled Force, so he gets over the Jinzo and my final Goat token. I draw Book of Moon, set the Serpent once again. He draws Book of Moon, Magic Drain, and Heavy Storm for his hand, runs over the Serpent. I draw Pot of Greed, nice draw, get back Serpent. Use Pot of Greed, if you don't know it lets you draw 2. I get Pyramid Turtle and Exiled Force finally. Take 600 damage myself from the Pyramid Turtle, and get myself Vampire Lord. And he will run into it, or I will run into his Blindly Loyal Goblin, taking 200 and discarding a spell, which he will send to Nobleman. I will set myself a Book of Moon so I don't have to discard for hand. He draws Mystic Swordsman level 2, Heavy Storms my Book of Moon, sets my Vampire Lord, and runs into it with the Mystic Swordsman level 2. On standby, I will get back the Vampire Lord, and this is where it's a little bit unfortunate of an ending, but I think he realized he messed up. He didn't remember or forgot, same thing, that the Vampire Lord destroyed by a card effect because of the Mystic Swordsman, so it will come back in the standby phase. Doesn't matter that it was face down, because it's a zombie and a monster once it hits the graveyard that was destroyed by a card effect. So I summon it back. Way too many cards in hand. He cannot do anything, and I take this match. It was a good live duel. Worse replay. I wish it was live, but my stupid friend had to call me. Thank you all for watching. I'm the Yu-Gi-Oh! Scrub. Subscribe for more videos like this. I'll see you all later. Goodbye.